I just got back from the Vault Conference 2024 in West Palm Beach, Florida, one of the foremost business conferences in all of America with Patrick Bet David. And here are my biggest takeaways from the $1 Billion Room. Stay tuned. The Vault Conference 2024 was absolutely insane. You had major players in the room who were looking to scale, grow, change their lives, change their businesses, change their business trajectory, and it was fantastic. When you think about going to an event that the goal is to learn how to hire, learn how to fire, learn better mindset, learn how to scale, learn how to process, learn conflict resolution, learn marketing, advertising, sales, closing. Oh my goodness gracious. A 3-day event, jam-packed, but the $1 Billion Room is where the magic took place. And so let me break this down. You had companies in there doing $1 million a year. You had companies in there doing $10 million a year. You had companies in there doing $100 million a year. You had companies in there doing $1 billion. And so when I talk about the $1 Billion Room, there were several $1 billion in this room. And so you're talking about big players, people who know how to think, people who know how to process, people who know how to scale, people who know what systems look like, people who know what automation, integration, all these things look like. And some of my biggest takeaways were two major things in business. Number one is, are you an engine? Patrick Bet David in the CEO session starts talking about, are you an engine? And he starts talking about different things. Then he starts talking about, Facebook ads, Google ads, great, but that's not an engine. And he literally said, I don't want to rely on Facebook and Google ads as my engine because the algorithms, things change, you don't control it, it ain't your engine. And so when we break down, are you an engine? You can be the engine, you need to be the engine, and your company can be the engine. He used examples like Elon Musk being an engine, Tesla also being an engine, Steve Jobs being an engine, Apple also being an engine. The company's an engine because it was built to be an engine. That company, those two companies, literally have changed the face of society. But the founder and CEO also was a driver and an engine, also was someone who was forcefully putting things in place and getting things done. Don't take forcefully the wrong way. The fact of the matter is they were making things happen. And so when you think about where you are in business, when you think about where you are in life, when you think about what's absolutely going on in the way you think about your business, the question you need to ask yourself is, are you an engine? You can be an engine in business. You can be an engine in your community. You can be an engine in your family. You can be an engine in things that you integrate with your church life community, but are you the engine? When you think about different segments in business, there's a lot going on. If we take that one event, that's an event. That event is put together by a bunch of people. You have an events team. The events team is the engine of that event. Make no mistake about it. But if you look at exactly what's happening, all the moving pieces, all the moving parts, if I take insurance, in insurance, you have two engines. You have the actual product and distribution, and you have the sales force. Those are the two engines. Products, which are the carriers and the products, and the sales force. They literally don't work one without the other. What we found out over doing this for a long period of time is the carriers aren't good at sales. They're great at products. And the salespeople aren't making products. They're great at sales and they're great at closing. The two combined are two separate engines. And then when you put them together, it's a super engine. And so how are you structured in business? How are you structured as the founder CEO? How are you structured as an entity? How are you structured as a business person? Are you the engine? Ponder that. Think about strategies that allow you to be the driver, allow you to have the vision to forecast and sell the vision and grow the company and grow everything around what it is you do well and what it is the company does well and is known for. And when you think about innovation and you think about Tesla and you think about Apple, when you think about that, they are drivers. The company's a driver. The founder's a driver. There's the engine. The second biggest takeaway for me was, are you integrating in business? And I looked at this flywheel that Patrick Bet-David had for all his companies. When you think of Valuetainment, Bet-David Consulting, PBD Podcast, Monect, and he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 other companies that are all on this flywheel. And what he discussed blew me away. I actually have seen this before in insurance, but let me discuss what he talked about. I'll bring it back to insurance. Are you integrating in business? And when we think about integration, is everything in your flywheel connected to one another? Does it all draw back to one another? So when I think about integration and I think about who could have done a better job in integration than Walt Disney, oh my gosh, if you look at this man's flywheel, you start seeing the vision that he had when he started. You start seeing the ideas that were birthed and created and almost spoken into existence. Walt Disney is a visionary's visionary and a dreamer's dreamer. And when you think about that type of approach in business, I'm not saying any of us need to be Walt Disney. What I am saying is it's a great model to look at, and it's a great thing to model after. When I look at their flywheel, and I look at the Walt Disney Studio, then I look at the Disney Music Group. They've got the Disney Parks and Experiences. They got Disney Corporate. They got Disney Theatrical. They've got ABC Disney Television. They have ESPN. They have Disney Studio Services. They have Disney Direct-to-Consumer Products and International. Look at this, right? And all of these companies are interwoven, and they each help each other grow the business and the sector of that business inside of the business. That's integration. Where are you at with your vision on a flywheel? This is amazing because I've seen it like this before in my mind in business, but I've never was able to articulate it the way I heard Patrick Bet-David say it. I'm going to show you what's taken place in my insurance business. We have sales. We have recruiting. We have lead distribution. We have sectors of sales, term insurance, whole life insurance. A derivative of whole life insurance is final expense insurance, IUL insurance, annuities. All of those can be their own division. We broke off into Medicare. We broke off a little bit into ACA, Affordable Health Care, Affordable Care Act. And what you see is there becomes somewhat of a flywheel. We started getting into CRMs and helping agents through CRMs. And you see that everything is integrating into one another, all in one business, and each have their separate sectors of business. Nothing like Disney. Don't get it confused. And I think what Patrick put together with his flywheel to bring value to the room, to show us what is happening in his business right now, what is happening underneath his large holding group, Lions Holdings Group, what is underneath that umbrella and how they all interconnect. Integration in business is how you go on a 40, 50, 60-year dynasty type run. That was one of my biggest takeaways. I don't know if I was viewing business as a dynasty with the clarity that I saw on the PBD integration wheel, flywheel. I don't think I saw it that way. Now, when I look at it, you realize how many legs does ESPN have? I mean, the thing's got 100 lives. How many legs does Disney's, the theme parks have? This stuff is forever. How many legs is Disney's theatrical group? How many lives does the Disney Music Group have? When you start putting this together and you can create companies inside a company, and you can get them all to integrate, whoo, now we're talking about a dynasty. And hey, if you're in business, you can be a fly-by-night, you can have a short run, you can have an intermediate run, you can have a long-term run, and you can have a dynasty. You get to choose. If you're integrating, I think you get to choose the dynasty. Yes, you have to be in front of things. Yes, you have to be a visionary. Yes, you have to be able to see moves ahead. Yes, you have to be able to hire the right people in business. And you have to be able to put those people in the right positions in your businesses. Yes, you need to see where someone's talents are peaking outside of the business they're currently in, and they may be better suited for another business, and moving players around. Maybe there's a bigger opportunity for them in another business, and you get to work with inside teams of teams, people and people and people, and you get to build out layers. You get to build out your C-suite, build out your president suite, build out your VP suite, build out your directors, build out your board. It was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. For an entrepreneurial junkie like myself, it was mind-blowing. For if that type of thing gets you excited, if that type of thing interests you, if that type of thing excites you, go check out Disney's Flywheel. Go check it out. I think you'd be blown away by the integration. And I think if you can start thinking like this today, for the long term, so the short term, for the long term, because as your ideas start to percolate, as you start curating, as you start becoming, more of a thinker, more of a dreamer, you can start moving things around. And guess what? If it doesn't integrate, it doesn't go. And that will allow you to stay very focused in business and very focused in pocket. If it doesn't integrate, it doesn't go. There's a lot of great ideas out there. There's a lot of good things out there. Look, we always say, this is a good thing. My wife and I always say, it's a good thing, but it's just not a good thing for us. We're not mad. It's a good thing. It's just not for us right now, because we need to be able to stay on task with the things in front of us. You can't do everything. So one of the examples that Patrick gave was somebody wants him to make movies right now. And he's saying, that's a great idea, and we will do it, just not right now, maybe in 3 or 5 years. And so understanding that the run you're looking for, the longevity you're looking for, the cementing you're looking for, it's not going to be by fly-by-nights, Facebook ads and Google ads. That stuff's nice. Those are good things. And they do work. But cementing your legacy deep is going to be the engine and the integration. And so when you get around a room that has billions of dollars in it, you better believe the content and the value needs to go way up, because these aren't ladies and gentlemen that don't know how to work. These aren't ladies and gentlemen that don't know business. These aren't ladies and gentlemen that don't know how to scale. They have systems. They have people. They have C-suite members. They have people in their businesses that are already allowing them to do amazing things in business. But everyone in the room was looking to grow. Make no mistake about it, including Patrick Bet-David. And the value that he brought elevated the room to a great height. And so if this brought you value, and you are looking to integrate, and you are looking at your engine, and you see the biggest 2 takeaways that I got from the vault is, are you the engine? Is your business the engine? And are you integrating in business? I hope this brought you value. I hope this might change the way you think, or at least shifts the way you think. The $1 Billion Room was very integral. God bless. As you are considering your role as an engine, as you are considering integration in your business, man, it brought me a ton of value. I hope the content brought you value, but we've got to have a dialogue about this in the comments. Please talk to us about what you think about this. Are you doing this in your business? Have you seen this before? Have you got a chance to look at Disney's Flywheel to see what a dynasty could actually look like? And make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's important to us that we can continue to get this value and this message to as many people as humanly possible. We do appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following the content. We love you. God bless.